Alright guys, so here comes one of my most, well, out there AUs, and it's been a while since I've done a Stormhawks video, so I figured why not now? You know, why not talk about this idea? It's kind of been rattling around in my brain for a good while now. So I figured, you know, what would be the best time other than now than to talk about Stormhawks Beast Wars. So Stormhawks Beast Wars was basically an idea that came to me just out of the blue a long time ago, like when Stormhawks was still airing out of the blue. But I never really, thought of the idea. I never really gave it a lot of thought. I never really gave it a lot of, attention. You know what I'm saying? I never really gave it a lot of attention, but now I've finally got, most of an idea here. So let's get into it. So this story basically takes place in the Beast Wars timeline, and not in the past. Basically, this is in the future, whereas the Beast Wars cartoon, of course, takes place in the far past. So in here, it's a lot different. It's a little different in that, you know, the effects of what happened with Optimus Primal and his team, along with Megatron and his team, going back to the past and what that left behind. So, yeah. Even though Megatron was kind of the upstart and causing problems with the Predacons, the Predacon High Council, and causing an upstart against the Maximals, what happened was that it wasn't just Megatron. After Megatron left, the Predacon High Council was like, okay, now we can get shit under control and get rid of Galavar, that's Megatron. That's Beast Wars Megatron's real name, according to the IDW books. So with Galavar gone, we can now get back to business. Unfortunately, there's a problem because Galavar, Megatron left behind kind of a bit of fanaticism, and none of that hit better than a young Predacon by the name of Cyclonus, now calling herself Master Cyclonus. So in here, yes, you haven't figured out by now, Stormhawk, all the Stormhawk characters are Maximals and Predacons. So in here, the Predacon, the new Predacon fanatic that the Predacon High Council has to deal with is Cyclonus, now calling herself Master Cyclonus, and is trying to bring about a new era of the Predacons. Cyclonus's ult mode is a bat. It's a giant bat. So there's that. There's that. That rhymed. And she also has, of course, her own followers. Snipe is a baboon. You have Ravis, who is a dragonfly. You have a Dark Ace, who is a falcon, and you also have another. You also have another group here. You have the Predacons, who are all the Raptors. So they're known as the Raptorcons. So the Raptorcons are basically Repton and his brothers, and they're all dinosaurs. You have Repton, who's a Spinosaurus. You have Spitz, who's an Allosaurus. You have Lugi, who's an Ankylosaurus. You have Hork as a Styracosaurus. And yeah, you have, like I said, Repton as a Spino. So those guys are the Predacons that are united with under this new vision that Cyclonus has. However, that kind of fell apart because the Maximals grabbed them and also captured them in an attempt when they tried to destroy Cybertron, the Maximal High Council in a bombing threat. So basically, what happened is they got captured, and now they're on a prison ship run by a group of young heroes who are just now out of the academy, led by Arrow. So Arrow and the others are a bunch of young Maximals who are in charge of taking them to a prison planet. Take these Predacons to a prison world. Arrow is an eagle. His ult mode's an eagle. Piper's is a jaguar. You have Junko, who is a Triceratops. Stork is... It's not a stork, and I wanted that to be a running gag where everyone's like, you didn't pick a stork as your alt mode, and Stork's alt mode is a bullfrog. And you have Finn. Finn is a what did I have Finn? Oh crap. Oh yeah, Finn was a lion. So yeah, there's the auto, and they're also under the command of Starling, who her alt mode is a wolf. So Starling is the commanding officer of this group of young Maximals in their prison transfer. However, things go pretty bad, because what happens is that there was someone else who was with them, Carver. And if you know your Stormhawks lore, then you know that what happens next. Because, yeah, Carver was a Maximal who was working with the others. Turns out he's working for the Predacons and frees Master Cyclonus. And, yeah, however, Starling does kill Carver. However, the damage that is done to the ship during the prison break leads to the ship falling out and landing on a faraway planet that's nowhere near anyone. So now the Maximals and Predacons are stuck on some wayward planet with no way of reaching Cybertron. And yeah, it's now just an all-out war, because what happened was that the Predacons, while they did manage to escape and land on this planet, they still need the parts from the prison ship to get off the world. They also have discovered that what's keeping the Maximals here, because the Maximals are like, yeah, we can just repair the ship and leave. We can strand Cyclonus and them here. What's the problem? The problem, it turns out, is that this planet is rich with energon. It's just teeming with with just pure energon that this team can use. The problem is that if Cyclonus managed to get word out to the Predacons, it would give the Predacons an edge and definitely lead to another Maximal Predacon war. So they have to round up and capture the Predacons again in this story. So now they have to basically work around the clock to capture the Predacons once more. It does kind of follow a lot of the beats of the Beast Wars cartoon, but that's kind of the point. It was that it was supposed to be like this fun romp where you have all these characters meeting, and also, again, it does, that was kind of the thing with Stormhawks, is that for some reason it did kind of feel like, and it was also funny because a lot of the voice actors for Stormhawks worked on Beast Wars, so I thought that was kind of fun. Also, I always kind of imagine, just saying that, I always kind of imagine Master Cyclonus going, yes. Also, if you're wondering what Radar is, because I forgot to mention Radar earlier, Radar is a Maximal Minicon that Arrow has that turns into a sword for him. So there you go. I forgot to mention. Yeah, I real quick forgot to mention what Radar was, because I tend to do that because Radar is pretty forgettable. As for other characters I wanted to show up and have alt modes, Harrier would have been a he would have been a bear. I also had Suzy Liu in here, and her alt mode was her alt mode was a polar bear. As for others, like the Warden, Warden was a scorpion. Obvious reference to the flying to the fire scorpions. Characters like that. Characters, of that, stuff like that. I thought it'd be kind of fun. So there you go, guys. That is pretty much my Stormhawks Beast Wars AU. You guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of it? And what other characters could you see have alt modes? And what alt modes would you give the Stormhawks and Cyclonians in this story? Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.